symbol. That means if I apply negation P disjunction Q, the result will be negation P conjunction negation Q. Based on this, you were supposed to solve these two questions, question number 1 and question number 2. In case of OR, you have to put and if the sentence is normal, you have to put not at the appropriate place so that the given statement or preposition becomes its negation. Example, if I check for this B, Yoshiko knows Java and calculus, its negation will be Yoshiko doesn't know Java or calculus. I am replacing not, okay, using does not know Java or calculus, like this. There were a couple of confusions related with finding the dual of each preposition. What is the meaning of dual? Dual of a preposition is a prepositional statement obtained by replacing every disjunction by conjunction, every conjunction by disjunction, every true by false, every false by true. So while computing dual of any formula, you have to check the presence of conjunction disjunctions, true or false values, and you need to replace them accordingly. So for this example number 1, you can observe it is being mentioned P disjunction negation Q. So I am observing that this is a disjunction. So I will replace disjunction by conjunction. So this is my answer, P conjunction negation Q. Okay. I think there was a problem with this question number 4. Okay. Yes is again a prepositional variable. P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. You may have n number of different prepositional variables. While computing dual, our prepositional variables in a preposition will remain as it is. Okay. They will not change anywhere. They will remain as it is. Only thing is, you need to replace conjunction by disjunction, disjunction by conjunction. If there is a presence of true, you will be replacing it by false and vice versa. So this was, I think, okay, this was a question. Doubt somewhere. So what will be solution for this? I will say P as it is. Instead of conjunction, I will write disjunction. Then Q instead of conjunction, again I am going to write disjunction. R, then I am observing that there is a disjunction. So in my dual, I will have conjunction of S. I hope now the concept of dual is clear. Only you need to replace conjunction symbol by disjunction, true by false, and vice versa. There is no replacement of other prepositional variables. You need to keep them as it is. Is it fine? Is it fine? Those who were having questions, okay. Viraj has said yes. Okay, so now I think there is no problem. So let us move on. Okay. So what is today's point of discussion? So generally, while proving the logical equivalence of two or more prepositions with each other, the method that we are following is we are constructing truth table of prepositional statements, and thereafter we are checking whether the truth values in the prepositional statements are exactly same. If the truth values are exactly same, then we arrive at a conclusion that two or more prepositional statements are exactly same. What are the drawbacks of this truth table method? As I said earlier, the truth table will have total 2 to the power n values, where n is number of prepositional variables. It will be fine if you are constructing a truth table for 2 to 3 prepositional variables. But what if our prepositional statement is having 5, 6, or let us say 10 prepositions P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and so on? In that case, it becomes infeasible to draw such a big truth table and put on the values of true or false for every row. Okay, so what is the alternative for proving the logical equivalence of any statement? You can reduce a given prepositional statement to its simplified format using normal form. I hope you are getting what is ongoing. Okay, so normal form is the simplified format of a given prepositional statement, which makes use of prepositional logic formulas for simplifying the things. Okay, there will not be any need of truth table, constructing a truth table for solving equivalence problem. So you can make use of these normal forms. Okay. Advantage, the readability is improved, the work is minimized. That is the reason why we will be studying these normal forms. The shorter representation of given prepositional statement. Okay. So before we get to know about the normal forms, let us go on and check out. Let me pick out pen. So if I talk about normal form, before that one should know what do you mean by atomic preposition. This we have already seen during our first lecture. A preposition can be of two types, atomic and compound. An atomic preposition is a preposition containing no logical connectives. Alternatively, an atomic preposition is a preposition wherein you cannot decompose, you cannot divide that preposition into subparts. So all the prepositional variables P, Q, R, S, T, etc. in smaller case, okay, are known as atomic prepositions. We are not connecting them with each other. Single variable is known as atomic preposition. Next is a literal. A literal is either an atomic preposition or a negation of an atomic preposition. Now there are two important things. Okay, atomic means a simple prepositional variable, while literal can have simple prepositional variable or its negation. So in literal, I could have negation of P, Q, negation of R, etc. You can observe a negation is present. Here, original atomic preposition is present. Negation R, negation is present. So these are the things that you should know before learning what do you mean by conjunctive normal form and disjunctive normal form. These are the two types of normal forms. Okay. Before moving further, let me reiterate the definition of normal forms. Normal forms are the simplified versions of original prepositional statement. It makes the complex prepositional statement less rigid. Okay. It makes it simplified. That is a normal. Okay. Uh, Once you have understood about atomic and literal, please let me know if anything is wrong, if my voice is not audible, or you need revision of some concept in the chat window. Okay. The things are a little bit complicated in comparison with whatever we have discussed so far, which was very easy. Now we are actually turning out into discrete mathematics. Okay. If anything is wrong, let me know. Okay. If the pace of lecture is going fast, then also you can communicate in the chat window. Okay. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, but I know that your entire concentration is required throughout this lecture for understanding how to compute CNF and DNF. Very, very important and having higher weightage in your final examination as well. Okay. Moving forward. So atomic and literal is clear. Now we are having two types of normal forms known as, let me write here, CNF. CNF stands for conjunctive normal form, and we are having one more that is known as DNF. Okay. So before going for the definitions of conjunctive normal form and disjunctive normal form, the third definition, a conjunctive clause, this is also known as fundamental conjunction or midterm. What it is? A conjunctive clause is a preposition that contains only literals and the connective. Literals means I could have a preposition or its negation and connective. Connective which? Conjunction. Okay, that is the reason why the name conjunctive clause. We are having only literals and the connective conjunction. Example, negation P, conjunction Q, conjunction negation R. This is also known as fundamental conjunction and or minimum. Okay. So whenever there is usage of conjunction, you have to go for fundamental conjunctions. What do you mean by disjunctive clause? It is again a preposition that contains only literals and the connective disjunction or. This could be example of negation P or Q or negation R. Fundamental disjunction or maxed. Okay, so whatever I was discussing prior to the start of the slide, the problem of finding whether given statement is tautology or contradiction in finite number of steps will be called a decision problem. We have to decide, okay, how many steps are required for checking out whether a given preposition is a tautology or contradiction. As the number of such prepositional variables increases, constructing a truth table is not a practical. I said, okay, it will be fine if you are having two or three prepositional variables, but as the number of variables goes on, it will be impacted. Okay, that is the reason why we are learning this normal forms. Okay, so I hope the screenshot you have taken of this slide and we can further move on. These definitions we will require certainly. Okay. Moving further, so we can therefore consider alternative procedure known as reduction of normal forms. Two such normal forms are disjunctive normal form and conjunctive normal. So what do you mean by DNF? Disjunctive normal form. Disjunctive normal form is a preposition if it is a disjunction of all conjunctive clauses and literals. Okay. A disjunction of fundamental conjunctions and or its negations. That is disjunctive normal. That's fine. A preposition is said to be in a disjunctive normal form if it is a disjunction of conjunctive clauses and literals. So, example, negation P, conjunction Q, conjunction negation R. So this could be assumed as first conjunctive clause. We have to look for disjunction of conjunctive clauses, also known as fundamental conjunctions and literals. So this Q is a literal. And again, this is a conjunctive clause. Are you getting? Can you reply in the chat box? If it is fine, I will take more and more. Okay. Please repeat DNF, whoever is saying. Viraj is saying yes. Okay. Vaibhav? Okay. I will repeat again. Okay. Repeat what? DNF. Okay. Okay. Fine. If that is not clear with the slide, let me have the notepad so that things will be clear. Okay. No problem at all. Okay. So what to do? So first of all, DNF stands for disjunctive normal form. Keep in mind, D for disjunction, NF normal form, disjunctive normal form. What is the definition of DNF? It is disjunction of all fundamental conjunctions or literals. Disjunction of all fundamental conjunctions or literals. So before moving for how to have example of disjunction of fundamental conjunctions, you should know what do you mean by fundamental conjunction. What is fundamental conjunction? Fundamental conjunction is nothing other than conjunction of preposition oblique literal. This is fundamental conjunction. Okay. Now whether it is clear? Okay, conjunction of preposition oblique literal. What is conjunction of preposition oblique literal? मी आता फक्त हे एक्झाम्पल सांगतोय. ओके, आय एम टॉकिंग अबाउट फंडामेंटल कंजंक्शन. फॉरगेट अबाउट DNF फॉर अ while. Conjunction of preposition oblique literal. So P conjunction Q. Okay, out of these three, which will act as a fundamental conjunction? Whether this is fundamental conjunction? Yes. What is fundamental conjunction? Conjunction of preposition or literal. So this is a preposition. I am observing that P conjunction Q. Yes, this first one is fundamental conjunction. This is fine. This will be fundamental conjunction as per the definition. How about second? Can you tell me whether second one, negation P, is a fundamental conjunction or not? whether it is fundamental conjunction negation P. Can anybody tell whether negation P is fundamental conjunction? It is not fundamental conjunction. Okay. It is literal. Prathamesh is saying literal. Okay. I will say that this is also a fundamental conjunction. How come? Okay, by the definition, you are correct. It is not a fundamental conjunction. But can we represent this negation P like this? What is negation P, conjunction negation P, using the law of idempotence? Negation P, conjunction negation P is negation P itself, isn't it? Negation P. So if I am representing negation P like this, negation P, conjunction negation P, now whether this is a fundamental conjunction? Now whether this is fundamental conjunction, if I am representing this? Okay, so now, okay, you need to remember and apply those laws which we have discussed so far. Okay, so this is also a fundamental conjunction. And how about this? Whether this is fundamental conjunction? I am talking about fundamental conjunction. Okay. Whether this one is negation P, conjunction negation Q or R? Whether it is fundamental conjunction? Any idea? The answer no, 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 no. Correct, no. Why no? Why it is not? Or is present. Correct, Abhishek, correct. If or is present, that means disjunction is present. And what is the definition of fundamental conjunction? It should be conjunction of prepositions or literals. So this is not fundamental conjunction. This fundamental conjunction is also known as, I said, it is also known as, what do we say? We were discussing this mean term. Okay. Public fundamental laws. So if you are clear with this definition of fundamental conjunction, now let me take you back to the definition of disjunctive normal form. So what is this disjunctive normal form? Disjunction of all fundamental conjunctions or literals. You are aware of the definition of literals. So disjunction. Okay, I am taking first example. Example number 1. Example number 2. Example number 3. Example number 4. I will explain step by step. Okay. What is the definition of DNF? Disjunction of all fundamental conjunctions or literals. So, whether this is a fundamental conjunction, yes, we can write this P using idempotence law as P conjunction P. So this could be assumed as a fundamental conjunction or a literal. I have to look whether the middle symbol is or and two connectives, two connected prepositional variables are fundamental conjunctions. So P is a fundamental conjunction as well as Q is a fundamental conjunction, and this or is present in between. Hence, this is in DNF. Okay. My question is for B. Whether example number B is in a DNF. B DNF मध्ये आहे का? सांगता येईल का? How about B? Yes, yes, yes. Again, you are now going to use idempotence law, isn't it? So you'll be using idempotence law. First of all, we cannot directly say that this is in a DNF. First of all, we need to write this is equivalent to P or P. Do not write P conjunction P. Okay, are you getting? This is a disjunction of fundamental conjunctions or literals. So if P is assumed as a literal, I need to have disjunction of literals. So this will result in a DN. If somebody is saying I have to use conjunction, you need to use conjunction in between. For example, it could be written like this. P. Using law of idempotence. I can write like this. This is perfectly fine. But this middle symbol must always be or, that is a disjunction. Then and then only you could say that this is in disjunctive normal form. That's fine. How about third? Whether third one, example number C, negation P, conjunction negation Q or R is in the DNF. Third one, yes, all are saying yes, it is in DNF. How? This is in conjunctive. Okay, fundamental conjunction. Negation P, conjunction negation Q, fundamental conjunction. I have to look for middle symbol, disjunction R. Okay. How this R happens to be in conjunctive normal, sorry, fundamental conjunction? Because we could have disjunction of all fundamental conjunctions or literals. So if I have to segregate this, I would say that the first one is fundamental conjunction. After or, whatever I am observing is literal. So if this is fundamental conjunction and this one is literal, and I am observing that disjunction is present in between, obviously it will be in disjunctive normal form. Now moving on towards the last example, P, disjunction R, conjunction yes. Okay, can you tell me now whether this is in DNF? See the use of braces. Okay, you cannot randomly put braces anywhere and tell that this is in disjunctive normal form. Okay, I am talking about fourth one. All are saying no, it is not. Okay, obviously it is not. Okay, we are interested in here fundamental conjunction and there is a disjunction. So obviously this is not a fundamental conjunction. And again, here I am interested in having disjunction to connect this, but I am observing that this is conjunction. So obviously this will not be in D. But by making use of laws, we may convert this statement into disjunctive normal form. That is perfectly possible. You can convert, okay. But at this moment of time, this is not in D. Can you tell me how to convert this into disjunctive normal form? Can we convert using which law? Using distributive law. Perfectly fine. Neha and Abhishek are saying using distributive law. Again, there was some confusion in yesterday's class somewhere. I don't know. So I'm just okay. Observe that the original statement is not in the DNF. We will say equal to. This is equal to what? E. Conjunction comes inside using distributive law. Disjunction goes outside. P conjunction, sorry, R conjunction. Yes. Now whether this is in the DNF? Yes. Disjunction of fundamental conjunctions and or literals. लक्षात येते का? Is it fine? Shall we move ahead? Any confusion so far? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Fine. Now I will move on toward the slide as well. Okay. If you look directly at the slide, nothing will be clear that I am quite aware of. That is the reason why I am taking with the help of note. Okay. So now observe the definition of disjunctive normal. A preposition is said to be in a disjunctive normal form if it is a disjunction of conjunctive clauses, that is our fundamental conjunction and literals. So we are observing that this is the example. Negation P, conjunction Q, conjunction negation R, whole bracket, disjunction Q, disjunction Q, conjunction R. You may have multiple disjunctions present in between in a disjunctive normal. Okay. Furthermore, a preposition is said to be in principal disjunctive normal form if it is disjunction of conjunctive clauses only. इथे काय definition? A normal disjunctive form can have disjunction of conjunctive clauses, that is fundamental conjunctions and literals, while in principal disjunctive normal form you could have disjunction of conjunctive clauses only. So this is one conjunctive clause and this is another conjunctive clause. I cannot put here using or. Okay, if I put here P, so this will be in normal disjunctive normal form, but it will not be in principal disjunctive normal form. Such is not expected in principle. You have to have conjunctive clauses only. let us move ahead. Okay. Now I expect the answer for conjunctive normal form definition from your side in the chat box. If you are clear with the disjunctive normal form, we have to simply replace disjunction by conjunction, conjunction by disjunction everywhere while defining conjunctive normal form in the same way as that of DN. Can you define in the chat box about conjunctive normal form? If it is possible, okay. Can you define? Dual of DNA. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely correct, Abdul. Dual of DNA. Very nice. Okay. That means wherever there is a conjunction, we have to replace by disjunction and vice versa. So definition is Pallavi is saying something. Okay, Pallavi and Neha. Conjunction of disjunctive clauses. Perfectly fine. That will be conjunctive normal form. So what do you mean by disjunctive clause? It will be disjunction of literals prepositions. That will be disjunctive clause. Okay. Also known as fundamental disjunction. So here we have defined DNF, disjunction of all fundamental conjunctions or literals. While defining CNF, I will say conjunction of all fundamental disjunctions. Okay. Now conjunction of disjunctions or literals, that will result in conjunctive normal form. So what would be the definition of fundamental disjunction? That will also be known as a max term, okay, or disjunctive preposition. It will be, definition will be disjunction of preposition or literal. Okay. Going ahead. So definition of conjunctive normal form: a preposition is said to be in CNF if it is a conjunction of disjunctive clauses and literals. Observe here. Conjunction is present outside while connecting two or more prepositional statements, and inside braces you must have disjunction. So this is one fundamental disjunction, also known as a disjunctive clause or max term. This is another disjunctive clause, and this is a literal. So negation P, disjunction Q, disjunction negation R, conjunction R, conjunction Q or R in bracket is said to be conjunctive normal form. Furthermore, a preposition is said to be in principle CNF if it is a conjunction of disjunctive clauses only without any literals. Am I clear? Is it fine, or should I repeat something? Is it fine? Whether this definition is clear, whether this one is fine. I think this is also fine, no? If anything need to be repeated, let me know. Which thing, Anuraj, should I repeat? No, okay, everything is clear that you want to say. Okay, 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 perfectly. Anyone else would like to say something? Viraj is saying no. No means nothing to repeat, isn't it? Or should I repeat something? No. Very nice. Okay, good. So can you now check out how to solve for this? What is the disjunctive normal form of P conjunction, P conditional Q? Remember that in conjunctive normal form or disjunctive normal form, we could have only two connectives. Those are conjunction and disjunction. There should not be any presence of conditional statement. There should not be any presence of biconditional statement or anything. You have to have only conjunction and disjunction. Okay, so how to solve for this? Whether this is in the DNF? Certainly not, because I am observing here conjunction. For DNF, I need to have or in between, and I need to have and inside. So let us check how this is converted. So P It is directly mentioned, okay, on the slide. P conjunction negation P or P and Q. How this is mentioned? This is mentioned using this. We are having a formula for this. What is the formula? P conditional Q can be written like negation of P or Q, if you remember formula number 18, which we have discussed in the yesterday's class, if you remember this. Okay, so first of all, P conjunction in bracket negation P or Q. Furthermore, using the law of distribution, I would have P conjunction negation of P or comes outside, inside that P conjunction Q. So now whether this is in the DNF, certainly yes, we can go for checking whether this is in DNF. Okay, DNF is what? Disjunction of fundamental conjunctions and or their negations. That is it. P conjunction negation P. This is one fundamental clause, fundamental conjunctive clause. This is another conjunctive clause, and there is a disjunction present. Okay. So what would be the principal disjunctive normal form of negation P or Q? Can you give me principal disjunctive normal form of negation P or Q? Whether this is in a disjunctive normal form, it is in normal disjunctive normal form because disjunction of literals. But for having principal disjunctive normal form, we need to have disjunction of fundamental conjunctions only, conjunctive clauses only. So can you convert this into conjunctive clauses and tell me the answer? What will be the principal disjunctive normal form of negation P or Q? Very nice. Very nice. Rule number 18. No? Whether all are getting, all are present with the interest, and whether all of you are putting these things down in your notebook. Not a theoretical lecture. Okay. Many times I have to repeat. The only reason is we are learning online. And learning online mathematics is quite difficult. Learning as well as explaining. Okay. Fine. Fine. If it is fine. Okay. Very good. So, how this is converted? Okay. A preposition is said to be in principle disjunctive normal form if it is a disjunction of conjunctive clauses only. So here negation P conjunction T is written. We may write like using idempotency law. We can write negation P conjunction negation P. That will also be perfectly fine. Okay? But they have made use of T. T and T. T is replaced. Okay. So again you could observe here law of distribution is used, and furthermore you can get this as an answer. But it is perfect that if you are writing negation P conjunction negation P or Q conjunction Q, both are same. We may conjunct any preposition by true or false as per our assumptions, and we can further decompose it to have such form. This could be a valid answer. Okay. That doesn't mean that whatever you are saying is incorrect. Here there is a presence of conjunction is made with a truth value. So instead of true, it is being replaced with or Q or negation Q, and here P or negation. So you can take a snapshot of this line, okay, for your reference. Nothing else, if you want. This is about principle. Principal disjunctive normal form is nothing asked nowhere in the university examinations, but for GATE point of view, GATE examination, this is of utmost importance. In GATE, they will ask you to compute principal disjunctive normal. And many times students get confused and they are putting a wrong answer of normal disjunctive form, which is not expected. Okay. Fine. Before going for next, I have many assignment for you. Let me have this. Student will answer. Okay, this. Okay. So today's discussion is meant for revising, revisiting each and everything of DNF and CNF so that things are perfect, nothing else. So first question, check which of the following is fundamental conjunction or disjunction. So how about first, whether it is in fundamental conjunction or disjunction? First one. So I could observe that this P can be represented as P or P oblique. It can also be represented as P and P using law of idempotence. Hence, it is in both. It is both fundamental conjunction as well as disjunction. Am I clear? Am I clear? Okay, very nice. P or Q, obviously disjunction of literals that is present. Okay, disjunction of literals. So whether it is fundamental conjunction or disjunction, it's fundamental disjunction. Okay, how about this? Any answer for this third one? Negation P or Q and P. Conjunction. Third one. Third one. Third one. Viraj is saying fundamental conjunction. Okay. Now it will be clear, I guess. Okay. I could see your charts as well. Okay. How about this? Somebody is saying fundamental conjunction. What is fundamental conjunction? Brace is not used on the value. Okay. The reason being, you should get confused. That is the reason why I have not put brace anywhere. Okay. So if brace is not present, what will be our answer? Not in. Okay. So if brace is present, absolutely fine. If I am putting a brace over here, I could get a fundamental disjunction. If I am putting brace here, I could say, okay, fundamental conjunction or disjunction like this. But certainly at this point of time, it is not in fundamental conjunction or disjunction. How about this? Fourth one. Again, neither HC nor FP. Okay, none. Very nice. Now we are going to solve one by one with the various problems. You are going to tell me which steps should I follow. This is not for your homework. These are the problems which you should note down along with me in your notebook. So problem number one, obtain disjunctive normal form of P conditional Q whole conjunction with negation P conjunction Q. So first of all, even though it is not asked in the examination, we will write the definition of DNF. That is a must. Okay. Next, after writing the definition of DNF, the solution. This is equivalent with. Okay. So what should I do? P conditional Q is equivalent with. Okay. Very good. So somebody is saying negation P or Q. Which law we have used? Law number 18, elimination of conditional. Okay. Then conjunction. Negation P, conjunction Q. Now check out whether this is in DNF. Whether this is in DNF. Whether this one is in DNF. No, it is not in DNF. Okay. Once we have used the law, we should write elimination of condition. This should be mentioned. Examiner is not going to know how you have directly replaced P conditional Q by negation P or Q. Okay. Furthermore, which law should I use so that this OR will come out and conjunction will go inside? For having a DNF, we should have disjunction of conjunctions. Okay. So what should I do further? What is no? No, somebody is saying no. Okay, that is not in the DNF. Yes, I know. So what to do next? What to do further after this step? कसं करता येईल? Disjunction I need outside and conjunction I need inside. Any answer from your side? D Morgan. Yes, where can we put D Morgan? And how can we put De Morgan? For putting a De Morgan, we should have negation in common. Right? Negation outside the braces. Okay, Neha is saying using distributive law to combine. Solve bracket. Passing negation. Okay. So just observe how I am solving. I hope this is visible. I am saying negation E conjunction negation P conjunction Q. I hope you are getting what is this negation P conjunction, this whole bracket, because I want this or outside the bracket, so I have taken negation P conjunction this whole bracket using law of distribution. Or comes outside. Next is what? Now we are left with second term Q conjunction negation of P conjunction Q. Bracket complete. Bracket. Okay. Is it fine? Is it fine up to this step? We are using distributive law. Now we will check out whether this is again in disjunctive normal form. Certainly it will be, but we have to check further. Okay. Whether this step is clear, any confusion in this step, I have taken negation P whole conjunction, this bracket, or comes outside Q whole conjunction, this negation P conjunction Q, using law of distribution. You may solve in notebook simultaneously. Okay, that is the reason why we are taking with this space, nothing else. Shall we proceed? Shall I move ahead? What about others? Okay. All are saying yes, yes, yes. I'm getting reply. Okay, afterwards, that is the reason why I was waiting. Okay. Equal to further. Now, whether this is in a DNF, whether this is in a DNF, yes, it is in a DNF. Okay, so we can directly conclude that this is in a DNF. Perfectly fine. Or if you are interested in solving it further, you may solve like this. What to write? Negation P, conjunction, negation P, conjunction Q. If operator is same, it will not be required to put braces. Okay, or here I may write like this: Q conjunction Q conjunction negation P. Observe, I have made use of here associativity, commutativity. Okay, change of positions doesn't affect the final result if my connective is one and the same. Q conjunction, I have put Q first and thereafter negation. So furthermore, this is equal to what is negation P conjunction negation P using law of idempotence? It is negation of conjunction Q, or Q conjunction Q is single Q using law of idempotence Q. Okay, and negation of. So this is in DNF, our final answer. Furthermore, I am observing that these are the same terms, so I could write negation P conjunction Q as well. That will be final DNF answer. So I repeat how I have solved this example. I have first converted P conditional Q to negation P or Q conjunction. Negation P and Q is kept as it is. Thereafter, for obtaining a DNF, I need to have disjunction outside the bracket. So I am using distributive law. So that says negation P conjunction, this whole bracket, or comes outside Q conjunction, this whole bracket. Further, we are solving, and using law of idempotence, we are getting our final result. At this point of time only, you can conclude that this is in the disjunctive normal. I hope this is clear, and we have noted down somewhere. Okay. Now moving further for the next example, shall we proceed? Okay. I hope this is clear. I am proceeding for the second. Okay, fine. Well, as that was the first example, I have told you. Now I want the answers from your side. Okay, how to solve this for disjunctive normal? This is equal to P conjunction P conditional Q whole conditional Q. This is equal to I'll say what? Negation of P conjunction. Conjunction. Negation of P or Q or are you getting this step? How it comes to be? What is law number 18? P conditional Q is equivalent to negation P or Q. So P conditional Q is replaced by negation P or Q. And this entire thing, assume this entire thing, this thing as P. So if this is P and this is Q, and there is conditional present in between, I am having negation of first term or second Q. So I have made use of here elimination of conditional for both of the conditional statements. Okay. Now my question is whether this is in DNF, whatever we have written, whether this is in disjunctive normal form. Whether this is in a DNF? No, this is not in DNF. Why? Because I could observe that disjunction is present here, but disjunction is present inside the bracket as well, and that should not be a thing. We should have always conjunction present inside the braces and disjunction present outside the braces. So this is not. So what will be next step of action? What to do further? If I want this outside somewhere. Okay, now there is need of using De Morgan's law. You could use distributive law, Abhishek, but De Morgan's will ease out the things. Okay. So what is De Morgan's law? Negation of P and Q is equal to negation of P or negation of Q. So negation, if it comes inside the bracket, P becomes negation P. Negation of conjunction is disjunction. I am applying negation to this entire bracket. Negation of P or this bracket. Okay. And I am keeping this as it is. Here I will say De Morgan's. So we are using De Morgan's. Okay. Further, this is equal to negation P or negation of negation is original statement P. Negation of, okay. So let me put here in bracket only P. Negation of disjunction is conjunction. Negation of Q or Q. Okay, I am clear. Okay. So negation P or P conjunction negation Q or Q. Fine. If connector disjunction is present, okay, you may write like this. If you are writing like this, and there is a disjunction, okay, it is expected that this outside brace should be removed. We can observe that disjunction of fundamental conjunctions or literals. So negation P is a literal, Q is a literal, while this P conjunction negation Q is fundamental conjunction, and disjunction symbol is present outside the bracket. So this is in DNF. Yes, no need of placing a bracket. Okay, if a bracket द्यायची गरज नाही. Okay. No need of bracket. If you put a bracket, it will create ambiguity. You are observing that disjunction is present, perfectly fine without a brace. Okay, this bracket should not be present. Okay, shall we proceed for the next? We are going to solve a couple of more examples, and thereafter one example of CNF as well in today's lecture. Which is your next lecture? In schedule? Sorry, is your next lecture in schedule? Any idea about next lecture? Whatever it may. Okay. Okay. Let it be. Okay. Let us go for this. Pick one. Okay. So, I am waiting for next 2 minutes for the answer from your side for this, so that I could see that whether you are really solving, you are really understanding the concept of DNF form. I am waiting. Afterwards, I will give you a solution. But can you tell me what will be the final DNF form of this statement in the chat box? Okay, take your time and try to answer. Yes, she's saying P disjunction, negation Q and R. Yeah, he's saying P conjunction, negation Q, disjunction, P conjunction, negation R. Yes. Yes. The second one will be quite appropriate because we have to have conjunction inside the bracket and disjunction outside the bracket. Okay. Anuraj is also correct. Yes, you need to further refine this. P disjunction. Apply negation inside the bracket. So if you apply negation inside, it becomes negation Q or negation R, and further you can make use of distributive law. So let me have here solution. Negation, let me keep it as it is. So I am saying negation of negation P or Q conjunction. Yeah, correct. Punika, Rohan, Mansi, Vaishnavi, Omkar, all are correct. Is equal to. Okay, so now let us apply this negation inside the bracket. So negation of negation, original statement P. As I am applying negation inside, so this will become and I'm saying negation of Q and R. Okay. Negation applied successfully. This is equal to P conjunction. Apply negation inside, negation Q. If you apply this negation for this conjunction, your answer will be or negation of R. Now let us check whether this is in the DNF. No, I want disjunction outside and conjunction inside. So I will go further. This is equivalent with P conjunction negation Q in one bracket. Disjunction comes outside. Next is what? P conjunction negation. It's fine. Rameshwari, is it fine? The answer is wrong. Okay, somewhere P, it cannot be P conjunction negation Q. You have to apply this negation inside because the definition doesn't say says that you can have negation outside with the conjunction. What is the definition of disjunctive normal form? It should be disjunction of fundamental conjunctions or literals. So if negation is present outside the bracket, it will not be fundamental conjunction. Okay, because of this negation, it becomes or. So you need to solve it like this. So this is my final DNF. Is it fine? Is it fine? Yes. Yes. It should be yes. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. 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 Fine. I have taken 3 examples for DNF. Now I will show you one CNF as well before we stop for today. Okay. So let us go for CNF. I do have a lot many questions for you. Okay. It depends upon the timing that we are getting. So let us solve for. Let us solve for this. Example number 3. So whether this is in conjunctive normal form. Example number 3. Is it in conjunctive normal form? I think this is not in conjunctive normal form because inside we have to have fundamental disjunction. So let us solve. I am saying about CNF. This is equal to P. Okay, P conjunction negation P or Q. Okay. Now whether this is in conjunctive normal form. Yes, very simple, isn't it? So what is CNF? Conjunction of fundamental disjunctions or literals. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Now I will show you this entire notepad file. You can take a snapshot and try to solve all these examples as a homework, not a assignment. And in case you face any problems, you can contact me through the personal chat on WhatsApp. Okay. So take a snapshot of all these. I'm giving you. Is it fine? You are taking snapshot? Okay. Take it. Take it. This is for DNF. I will post this on your classroom as well. No need of snapshot as well. Okay, so I will post this today on your classroom. This is not an assignment, but you may try as a homework. Both the CNF as well as the DNF, as per your understanding. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put this on your classroom. Before we stop for today, okay, let me stop my presentation. I want a few of you to start your mic as well as cam and present your understanding, experience about this discrete mathematics. You will be talking on a mic, okay? Along with that, you have to turn on your video cam as well. Just few, okay? And thereafter, we will stop. Whosoever want to share can share their views. Okay. So, I'm stopping my recording. Waiting for you to start your cams. Okay. Can you turn on your cam? Am I audible? If I'm audible, okay, just turn on your cams. Vaibhav is saying yes. I said earlier only, okay, Vaibhav, that I'll be sharing each and everything on your Google Classroom once the particular topic is finished. Till the time I will share only these recorded sessions on your classroom. Okay, I'm going to share all these PPTs on the Google Classroom, no doubt. It is not available now. Yeah, it is not available now. If you want, I could share it. No problem. Okay, turn on your cams. Yes, Vaibhav has it turned on. And how about others? Okay. Okay, who is going to switch on the mic as well? Prathamesh, can you switch on your mic and share your experience? Okay. Anybody from girls as well? Anuraj, Abhishek. Can you turn on your mic? All are your classmates, okay, and there is nothing to worry of. Okay, what is the ambiguity? I do not know. Then turning the mic on. If it is comfortable, that I want to know. Nothing else. It could be comfortable, it could not be comfortable, or anything else you have to share by turning on your mic. Do not write in chat window, I want through your mic. Anuraj, would you like to turn on your mic? Hello? Okay, fine. Tomorrow morning, we will again meet for the another lecture. Till the time you can prepare for the various solutions of finding CNF and DNF. Okay, have a good day. Thank you.